Welcome to day 2 of our Baxter trip. It was torrential rain last night. Today's day 3. Oh my god, I'm still getting my days mixed up.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, Monday didn't count, so yesterday was day 1 full day. Today's day 2 full days. Whatever. Anyway. Some things don't ever change. Me getting my days mixed up is one of them. Oh, making my tea. It poured last night. It poured. It was so loud. And it's still raining this morning. It's like a full-on, you probably can't see it, but it's a steady light rain. I just got the weather forecast on my Garmin. It says it's not raining right now, so that's helpful because it really is. And we're gonna walk up to the ranger station and look at the forecast up there before we decide what we're doing today. Big decision day today. Unfortunately, it could end up in us going home.
You have to pack up again.
True. We do have to pack up anyway because we are supposed to move to South Branch tonight. Whether we actually drive 2 hours to South Branch or drive 2 hours towards home is the question. Stay tuned. I've been dying to go sit down by the river since we got here. And since it's just drizzling, we're gonna go check it out and see how much higher everything is with the new rainfall. I do really want to keep going. I really want to go up to South Branch, but the weather I just got on my Garmin indicates that it's not supposed to rain. Like, it's supposed to be done raining right now. Oh, yeah, that little river got a lot higher. So my Garmin indicates that it's not supposed to be raining from now until 5 o'clock tonight, which it's still raining right now, so there's that. Yeah, look at this. It's still a cool, I love this spot. I think this would be such a cool spot to tent. You got nice little water right here. Yeah. Pretty. It's blowing a lot more than it was the other day, that's for sure. Yeah. And it's supposed to rain all night and then into Thursday. And Thursday is when we are supposed to be hiking out to, let's go this way, Russell Pond. So I don't know. Yeah, it's blowing a lot more than it was the other day. Wow. A little further down. So when we stayed here at Roaring Brook last year, we swam down here. This is where you're supposed to go swimming if you're gonna swim. This is a pretty cool spot to go in. If it was not raining and we could have a fire, I would totally be going in. Yeah, see these cool little ponds, little pools, excuse me. You go in, look at all that nice sandy area. Just walk right in. That's high. Wasn't that high last year. It's beautiful. What do we got? Oh, tiny. September 13th. Patchy fog and drizzle. Cloudy with 60% chance of showers. Tonight, rain. Okay, tomorrow, rain. Friday, partly sunny. Holy cow. And then the summit forecast, obscured. Patchy fog, rain up there. Oof. Thunderstorms. That's not a place I'd want to be. Oh gosh, thunderstorms. Limited lightning. Where's today and tonight? Wass stream is waist deep or higher. Entering from the north is recommended, which is what we're planning to do.
So what's it say for tonight?
Huh? So after going to the ranger station and talking to the ranger, he said that there's another lean-to that would be available at South Branch in the woods for Thursday and Friday night if we wanted to just stay there and not hike into Russell Pond. But then I saw a couple of backpackers coming by, going the way we originally were going to go, headed to Russell Pond. And they're gonna ford the Wasatacook River. God bless them. Waist deep right now. So I don't know. We're gonna sit here and probably make breakfast and decide what our game plan is. In fact, I just need to help Jim get breakfast. Oh, and Jim did make a really good point to me about what day it is, whether it's day 1, 2, or 3. And I think based on his argument, where my first night that I slept on the AT was day 1, this technically makes today day 3 and not day 2. So you're right, Jim. We are moved out. Always sweep out your lean-to. We left some wood that was here when we got here. We're leaving it, pay it forward, and I already raked the site. So it looks like it is ready to welcome others. The fire pit hasn't been cleaned out. That's not from us. It's from somebody prior to us at some point. And we're off. Sun. That's actually sun. Yay! So, as you can tell, we've decided to go up to South Branch. We're driving through the park, and here's Able. This is where I ended my through hike. Came down Able Trail. Oh, look how beautiful it is. The sun coming through the trees. Oh. Oh, it's so beautiful. And there's the birches. That's where we spent our night before summit. And right here on the left is where I came out of the woods. Right there. Grassy Pond Trail. And came out here and followed the Appalachian. So that is Double Top that we were looking at. It's all shrouded in fog. This is the parking lot to Marston Trail. The Marston Trail brings you to North and South Brother, the Bushwhack to Fort Mountain. You can do a whole loop, Mount Co. So that all starts here, and you can do the Mount Co, South Brother, North Brother loop. Fort Mountain, the Bushwhack to Fort, is off of the summit of North Brother. So I think we decided we're gonna head up to South Branch and have lunch up there. So, snack time! I believe this is the Noah Niwidahunk, I can't say it. Nestahunk River, perhaps. It's awful high. Usually you can do a little bit more rock hopping in through here. That is spectacular. Wow. Like I've said before, you don't have to be hiking enormous mountains to take advantage of the beauty of Baxter State Park. You can absolutely explore so much beauty on very flat trails all over the place. And it's worth it. Just be prepared, there's no cell phone service here. It's amazing. So we assessed based on the signage, the Neswadihunk, I cannot say that to save my life. Nessadahunk. I don't know. We'll see if we can figure out what that one is. But that's probably the midway point from the southern entrance, the Togue Pond gate of Baxter Park, to where we're going, which is South Branch. Not midway through the park itself, but to South Branch where we're headed. And we just passed Neswadihunk, that whole field and camping area. We have camped there once. It's a really cool spot.
There's cabins there also you can rent.
Yep.
It's primitive. I mean, there's nothing, again, no water, no electricity, no cell phone, but
right.
It's a cabin.
Yeah.
You know, so beds and table and fireplace, I believe.
Yeah, they wood stoves, I think they
Wood
usually
stove,
have, yeah, in the cabins. They are primitive cabins, but they are 4 walls and a roof, which can on some days be all you really need and want.
Especially when people come in on the winter,
Yeah.
that ski in, it's great because it's warm.
The park is open in the winter. We have yet to take advantage of winter camping here.
They don't plow the road, so you have to ski in,
Yep,
pull a sled with all your stuff on it.
that's right. Or you can snowshoe in, but I think skiing is more efficient. We don't have cross-country skis yet, so at some point we're gonna try and get some used ones or something, and then try and venture in here in the winter. It's pretty beautiful. It's amazing. People hike Katahdin, and people do hike up to Chimney Pond and camp up there, because there's 1 or 2 bunkhouses up there.
Yeah.
I can't remember. So it's a pretty spectacular place any time of year, but in the winter I think it's probably extra special because there's almost nobody here. Yeah, I'll drop some pictures in from when we camped at that field so that you can see how beautiful it is. We stayed there, was it 1 or 2 nights?
One night. I believe it was just one night.
Yeah, it was just one
It
night.
did rain a little bit.
Yeah, and we left the next day.
Yeah, bailed because it was
Yeah,
raining.
yeah.
Hiked Double Top and then got out.
Yeah, Double Top was an amazing hike. Beautiful views over back towards Katahdin. So that's definitely a must-do if you're in the park or you want some other hikes besides the big ones. That's definitely worthwhile. The views are incredible.
Yeah, I think they're at 3,500 feet. So
Yep.
it's still challenging.
Yeah, I think it rained part of that hike.
A little bit near the end, yeah.
We ended up hiking out in the rain for that, but it was beautiful. It's really such a beautiful ride through the park. We don't mind doing it once a year. It's the ranger station at South Branch Pond. And the ranger is out. And they have all the information. It's canoe rentals, kayaks. You can get everything you need here. Okay, here's lean-to 8. It's what? Is it? Nice. And there's our little fire pit. Picnic table, and wow, that is a lot of space.
Yeah.
Nice. Looks fairly new on the inside. Mm-hmm. Some pegs, which is always great.
Yeah, pegs and pegs and pegs.
Yep.
Hooks on both outsides.
That's awesome.
Hooks up top. On the outside, it's got iron bolts.
Oh, that's even better. Like, so we can hang our tarp.
Yeah.
It's cool. We get the tree right there, trees, little path right there. Might go to a stream, might be able to get our water back here. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Nice. We're headed down to the water because A, the sun is out. B, it actually says it's like 73 degrees, I think. And 3, or was I doing A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3? All right, A, B, or C. So either C or 3 is that this chick needs to get a little bit of ick off of her. Where is the dock? Oh no.
Look how high the water is.
The water is so high. They don't even have the dock.
I know.
Oh, it's usually right there, I think, with those 3 stairs, or is it over here?
It's usually over there.
Oh my gosh. So they usually have this big, long, beautiful dock that goes out into, I'll throw a picture in for you so you can see. It usually goes straight into the lake. It doesn't look like it's up this year. Normally, Jim and I have one of the lean-tos that are on the lake. And because we changed our plans last minute, they weren't available. We've asked the ranger to check again to see if there might be one available tonight. But suffice to say, I think that the chances are slim. So Jim and I have hiked all these mountains around this area. Here, to my left, you can't see all of it, but it is all part of the Traveler Loop. It is considered, it's about, how many miles is it? 10-mile hike, and it's considered one of the most strenuous hikes you can do in the park. And it goes up over Peak of the Ridges, which is the first one if you go and you do it counterclockwise, which is the recommended way. And you go up over, and there's like 5 or 6 false summits to get to the top of Peak of the Ridges. And then it goes over to Traveler, and then North Traveler Mountain, and then it comes down over here all back into South Branch Pond. So it's a great hike if you're staying here to do. And then last year we went up over the mountain range on the right. And what you can't see from here is there's another pond. There's a little portage in between these 2 ponds. So this is Lower South Branch Pond and Upper South Branch Pond. Upper South Branch Pond also has a lot of cliffs that the kids usually dive off of they jump off of into the lake. So there's another whole lake on the other side that's, I think, a little bigger than this. And there's remote campsites over in that pond as well. And so we hiked up over this mountain here. I can't remember the name, one of them, South Branch maybe. So there's a couple mountains, and you can do a big loop and come back around, which is what we did last year. So there's a tremendous amount of hiking, not even just right here, but around in this area in the north end of the park. So it's a great spot for sure. since we have nice weather, we went back to our lean-to, set up our tent, and get everything situated. And now we are walking back down to the lake to relax there and read. So we're sitting here at the lake. I'm journaling in my beautiful journal that Penny and Fred gave me, my compass. I love this. And Jim's reading. Look at there.
Jack Reacher. It's the first in many of, I don't know how many there are, but it's the first book that Lee Child wrote. I didn't realize this because I've read a few other ones, not in sequence, and I saw the series on Prime Video. There's also a couple movies with Tom Cruise in them. Mm-hmm. But there was a series last year on Prime Video, and I didn't realize it was this book. So it's basically the same, a little bit different.
The books are always a little different, right?
But, hey, it's easy read, goes quick, so.
Yeah, so it's just a beautiful afternoon. It's buggy, but we don't care. It's better than rain. And,
Mooney's over there.
oh, yeah.
Moons and moose. What else you need?
Holy cow, like we've gotten just inundated with incredible nature today, which I will take. We both agree this is our favorite place in the campground. Just from a relaxation standpoint, it's truly amazing. It's just really a beautiful place. We've never been to some of the other places, so we say that not having been to every campground in this park, okay? So I think there's a couple that we would like to go to. Daisy Pond and Kidney Pond maybe sometime, and stay there and check that out, those areas. And definitely some primitive camping places too. But to date, this is still our favorite place to be. We love to just sit, listen to the water, look at the mountains, read and write and relax. It's really a special place. My husband is amazing. He's gone off to help these two women with their canoe. I love him. So this is how we have rigged our little area so that we can actually still have a fire even though it's sprinkling. Look at our tarps set up. This lean-to is amazing. It's so big, it has tons of hooks. So we're able to hang things, we get our table covered. I think this is an awesome site. Even though it's not in the water, who cares? This is great. What's that sound? I'm not sure what that sound is. It could be rain. Oh my goodness. Whatever, we figured a way to rig our setup so we can still have a fire, and we're pretty stoked. Just like the fire. So earlier, when Jim and I were sitting at the pond at the lake, we were talking about South Branch Pond, and I asked him, I said, is this this is, I think, my favorite place in the park, and I mentioned it on the video, and he said it was his too. So, Jim, I'd like to ask you why. Why is South Branch your favorite place in Baxter State Park?
I believe that Roaring Brook, it's very nice. Obviously, you're remote here. There's no power, there's no water, there's no cell phone service. But at Roaring Brook, it is the main trail that people hike Katahdin on. So it's very busy there.
That and Katahdin Stream.
Well, I would say more people hike up either Chimney Pond or
Yep.
Helon Taylor than
Yep.
any other place, because people want to do Knife Edge, so they're going that way,
Mm-hmm.
or they want to go to Chimney Pond, or the easiest way is Chimney Pond to either Saddle or Cathedral.
Yep.
So, my opinion, I don't know this, but
Yep.
more people go through there than the other places. So because of that, there's more hustle going on and more stuff happening there. So it still is kind of busy,
The busier
even though it's
campground.
remote.
Yep.
Whereas here, there's plenty of great hiking up here as well, but it's not Baxter, it's not Katahdin, so
It's not like the Disneyland of
yes,
the park.
so people don't necessarily come here for that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come up here, and as you've seen on other things from Michelle's videos, there's great ponds/lakes that you can canoe, kayak, swim in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a relatively small campground. There's 12 lean-tos and I think 20 or so tent sites, something like that. There are people who will park and back country camp, where we're going to do tomorrow, out to Russell Pond. But it's a lot smaller, it's a lot quieter, and there's just more things to do. We just sat at the lake, we saw a moose, we saw a loon.
Yeah.
You're not going to see that down there. You could walk and go on to Sandy Springs, potentially see that Sandy Stream, see that
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
But it's just a lot easier up here and a lot quieter.
It is. I think that's one of the things I like about it too. And, I think I mentioned earlier that here at South Branch Pond, I've had more than once, I've had a cathartic experience where I've just felt like the wind coming through the mountains, over the lake, and into where that beachy area has just flushed my soul. I know that sounds ridiculous, and I know it probably sounds preposterous to some people. But honestly, a lot of people say that Baxter State Park is sacred.
Yeah.
The Penobscot, the indigenous people of this land, believed it to be sacred, and they weren't wrong. I believe that as well, and I have had many experiences here that have been unlike anywhere else in the world. And I have traveled around the world, and I do believe that there is something quite special here. And so South Branch Pond is definitely one of those places.
Yeah. We've stayed between the two of us, we've stayed in 6 different campsites or campgrounds in this area, in the park. This is our 4th time staying here. Our first time not on the water. It's still a great site.
Yeah, it is.
With all the other ones we've stayed at, this is still the favorite.
Yeah. And so the campgrounds that we've stayed at are South Branch Pond. We almost stayed at, what was the one up? Was it Trout Brook? Trout Brook up at the very north gate, the north gate, Matagamon Gate. We almost stayed there, but it was a walk-in site, and they had wheelbarrows for you to bring your stuff into your tent site. And when we were walking into the site, it was so buggy.
Mosquitoes are terrible.
We were just like back before I did the AT. It was probably the worst experience I had with mosquitoes.
You walked into the park.
Yes, when I walked into this park from Abel Bridge. So that had been awful. And we turned around, we walked back to Matagamon Gate, and we were like, can you find us anything else? And that's when we stayed at
Nessadawehunk Field in Atlanta, which was great.
Nessadawehunk.
Yeah.
I think it's Nessadawehunk.
Nessadawehunk. Someday we'll figure it out.
That's when we stayed there, and it was amazing. So we've stayed at South Branch, Nessadawehunk, Roaring Brook, Chimney Pond, the Birches,
and Abel.
You stayed at Abel.
You stayed at Birches.
And I stayed at Birches.
Yes.
So that's a decent amount of the campgrounds
Yep.
in the park.
There's a ton more. There's
There are.
probably 10 or 15 other places you can camp
Yes,
here.
yeah. There's so much to do up here. Like I've said multiple times, you don't have to be climbing huge mountains to
No,
be
there's a lot of
enjoying
good
this park.
Day hikes.
Yep.
5 miles, 6 miles. You can go 10.
Yep.
Some of them don't have a huge elevation gain,
Smaller mountains,
Yeah.
yep,
but great views.
with great views.
Yep.
So it's amazing here. Truly amazing. Treat yourself. Come to Baxter.